Have you ever blamed yourself for a mistake? Maybe it was a wrong decision, a moment of anger, a broken relationship, a missed opportunity, or simply something you should have done better. Those memories, even though they've passed, sometimes come back. Late at night, when your heart feels most vulnerable, and whisper, "If only I had been different. I shouldn't have done that. Was it all my fault?" You know what? Some wounds don't come from others. They come from the things we say to ourselves every day. We can be compassionate toward the whole world, yet be unbearably harsh with ourselves. We can forgive those who've hurt us, but struggle to forgive ourselves for even one mistake. If you're carrying regret and self-blame in your heart, please pause for a moment and listen to this. You don't need to be perfect to deserve forgiveness. The truth is, none of us are perfect. We've all stumbled, made poor choices, hurt others, or hurt ourselves. Because we are human. And being human is a journey of constant learning. Mistakes do not define who you are. They're simply part of your growth. Try looking back, but with gentleness. At that time, you did the best you could. With what you knew, with the emotions you felt, with the wounds you hadn't healed. No one is born with all the answers, and no one gets it right every time. So, why keep punishing yourself for a past version of you? Dear one, forgiving yourself doesn't mean denying the mistake. It doesn't mean making excuses or forgetting the consequences. It simply means allowing yourself to go on living without carrying that burden forever. Because if you keep living in guilt, you're locking yourself into the past. You're building an invisible prison where you no longer let yourself move forward, love again, or dream of something new. You deserve to heal. You deserve a chance to begin again. And you deserve forgiveness from your own heart. Try this right now. Take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart and close your eyes. Speak to yourself as gently as you would speak to a dear friend. I know I've made mistakes. I know I've hurt others and myself. But I'm learning to grow. I'm learning to love myself, even if I'm not perfect. I forgive myself because I deserve to live, to be loved, and to move forward. You might cry. You might feel a heaviness in your chest, and then a release. And that is the sign of healing. Imagine wrapping your arms around yourself, the same way you once held someone who was hurting. No judgment, no demands, just a loving presence. Because sometimes what you need most is not someone else to forgive you, but a softness that comes from within. You've lived too long in self-blame. Now give yourself a chance to live in gratitude for having made it through, for still being here. You don't need to be perfect to be forgiven. You just need to be honest with yourself and willing to step toward the light. There's something many people don't realize. Forgiving yourself is one of the bravest acts you can do. Because it doesn't just ask you to face your pain. It asks you to open your heart to yourself with honesty and without judgment. Maybe you've tried to ignore your mistakes, buried yourself in work, in relationships, in forced laughter. You tried to appear okay, strong, cheerful, while deep inside there was a nameless emptiness. But you know what? Avoidance doesn't make pain go away. It only makes you more exhausted. So today, try something different. Face it, but gently. Write down, or whisper to your heart, the things you've blamed yourself for. I'm sorry for letting myself hurt for so long. I'm sorry for not trusting myself. I'm sorry for not knowing how to love myself the right way. Then turn those words into, I forgive myself because I deserve peace. I'm learning little by little, and that is enough. I give myself permission to begin again, even if the past still lingers. Forgiveness is not a single moment. It's a process, slow, requiring time and a lot of patience. You might forget, then remember again. You might forgive today and blame yourself again tomorrow. But keep going. Every time you choose love over blame, you take a step closer to inner freedom. Dear one, something magical happens when you truly forgive yourself. Your heart feels lighter. The past no longer holds you down. You no longer need to pretend to be strong or perfect, or that you've moved on. You just get to be yourself. Honest, tender, learning to love life again. And from that tender place, the light begins to enter. It's the light of acceptance, compassion, and healing. Remember this, you don't need to pay for your mistake your whole life. You don't need to sacrifice your present happiness for a chapter already written. You don't need to wear a mask to convince others that you're okay. In truth, you don't have to prove anything at all. Not to anyone. And most importantly, not to yourself. Peace doesn't come from forgetting the past. It comes from making peace with it. When you truly forgive yourself, you're telling your past, thank you for the lessons. Now I choose to continue. More gently, more mindfully, more lovingly. If there's one thing you can do each day to remind yourself of forgiveness, it is this. Breathe. Breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. Breathe as if you're holding yourself in a loving embrace. Let each breath be a quiet message. I am healing. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. Each day is a new chance to love myself more. Today, if your heart still aches, if your tears fall without a clear reason, if those blaming voices still echo in your mind, then please wrap your arms around yourself and say this. I have made mistakes, but I've also been brave. I've been lost, and I found my way back. I've been hurt, and I've still managed to love, and that is enough to deserve forgiveness. In the end, no one can turn back time. No one can erase what has already happened. But you can write the rest of your story with more gentleness. And that new chapter, it can begin with a single, simple sentence. I forgive myself. And I choose to live on with all the love and respect I now give to myself.